All right, got another live video. America disaster. The disaster. The title of this chapter is taken from the Holy Quran. We see Surah 101, 1 through 4, the disaster. What is the disaster? It will make you know how terrible is the disaster. In the English language, according to the Resper dictionary, the word disaster means a state of deep distress, misery caused by major misfortune or loss, or a great event marked by great loss and lasting distress and affliction. Such disaster is now prevailing in America. It is getting worse daily. The third verse of this chapter of the Holy Quran, Surah 101, verse 3, asks a question. It will make you know how terrible is the disaster. The answer is given in the fourth verse. The day wherein man will be as scattered as moths. We do not have to ask anyone whether or not this one or the Holy Quran is now being fulfilled. We see the fulfillment of this prophecy with our eyes and hear with our ears. These great disasters that are now striking America. We see the great division, the great disagreement, disunity, and murder of men. We see the great amount of raping and murdering of girls and women. There is great robbery and thieves going on every hour of the day and night. There are great storms and adverse weather conditions. There are minor earth tremors and hailstorms. There are signs and wonders of signs being displayed in the heavens and earth, on the land and seas. There is unusual behavior of children. There is unusual love or dislike of children by mothers and fathers, and destruction of the process of childbirth. And there is a great disaster of starvation and great destruction of health and life by the use and administering of poison drugs, which is practiced upon those who are free and those who are bound. What had been known as America is threatened today with total destruction. America is destroying herself in our effort to destroy her black slave. The water and air of America are being polluted by chemical. See, American scientists of war conducts dreadful experiments on how best to kill human beings by the millions and wipe out the life of whole continents. These are the days of fulfillment of prophecy of not one but a many disaster. When all of these preparation and destruction of human life by the devil, Allah God too has planned to save his people. Allah God has claimed over the black slave as being his people, and the white slaveholders is angry because of the loss of the black slave by the virtue of this claim. Allah God comes to take the black slave away from the enemy white slaveholders and join the black slave into his own kind. Again, the enemy white slaveholders hates this, but Allah God has the power to force the enemy white slaveholders to submit to his will. It is the will of Allah God that the enemy white slaveholders let these black slaves go free. Allah God promised concerning the white slaveholders and the black slave. The Bible, Isaiah 43, verse 6. I will say to the north, give up, and to the south, keep not back. Bring my son from afar, and my daughters from the end of the earth. America, since Allah God has now claimed the black slave, giving them the truth. Allah God has called the black slave who have accepted the truth by his name. The black slave who have accepted the truth of his greatness and being one of the righteous nations of his kind belongs to Allah God. The books must be fulfilled, wherein it prophesies it, that he will claim them to be his own elect. At such time as the destruction of America, if Allah God has not chosen some of the people of America, the black slave, to be his people, there would not have been any flesh saved from America. The Bible, we see Mark 13:20 teach us and accept that the Lord has shortened those days. No flesh will be saved, but for the elect's sake whom he has chosen, he has shortened the days. The black slave must know that this is the time of the judgment of both the white slaveholders and the black slave. The black slave must learn to know his place in the judgment. The place of the black slave is with Allah God and his own black people. The black slave had been deprived of knowledge of his God and his own black people. Allah God has come and brought the black slave the truth. The black slave refused to accept the truth. He would be destroyed for willingly and knowingly rejecting the truth when the truth have come in its millers. Disaster, disaster in the country of America. No secret can remain hidden, for the chastisement of Allah God will not let you hide it. As one writer prophesies in the Bible, Isaiah 18, verse 1, whom to the land shallow with rings. This prophecy is referring to America, which have a cloud of planes showering the skies over America almost daily. Can America exist? The coming of the white man to the Western hemisphere was for the purpose of expansion away from his brethren's Europe. See, Europe was divinely given to a white race as a home when it was driven out of Arabia 6,000 years ago to abide there on that continent until the days of reckoning comes to them. These are the days of reckoning for the white race, as the religious scholars and scientists agree. But because of their nature evil, they cannot help doing evil things against the righteous. They make war against the righteous, the black man, to prevent him from accepting righteousness and the doing of righteousness. Today, the black man in America is a prey in the strong, powerful hands of his enemies, the children of their slave masters. For 400 years, the slave master had mistreated the slave, and now in the day of their redemption, they were doing everything possible to save them from accepting their starvation that Allah now offers to the black man of America. So strong is Allah's love for us that he now desired nothing but a total destruction of America. They hate me with a bloody hatred, and they tried to kill me for teaching the truth to my people. They do not want this black man of America to enjoy freedom, justice, and equality. Look what they did to Reverend Martin Luther King, a man who was trying to be their brother, a man who publicly taught that he did not want to draw the white man's blood. He said if there was any blood to be spilled, let it be the black man's blood. His words came true, poor man. He was without the knowledge of self, his God, and religion, and so with fear of his 400-year-old enemy, that he could never get starvation from his people for an enemy. America had been blessed ever since the fathers came across the Atlantic out of the confines of Europe until this day. Now her evil done to a slave, God threatened her with total destruction. America and Germany are the most evil of the right race. The two governments have been blessed but they have not shown any worthwhile respect to Allah for his blessings. Allah calls people out of all the nations of the earth to come to America. They came seeking a heaven and earth, but those who came was evil too, as the Revelation and language teach us. Revelation 18, verse 2. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon, America the Great, is fallen, it become the habitation of devils, and hold every foul spirit, and to cage every unclean and hateful bird. There is no people nor country on earth who will feel this prophecy better than America and our people. She had become a house filled with evil practices, with every member of the nation taking part. Yet she had been blessed with a great harvest of food, which is enough to feed the nation of the earth. And with her great advancements into the heights of her mechanical knowledge, and with her great wealth and silver and gold that enabled her once upon a time to command the value of silver and gold of the world. But as it is written in all of this growing up of wealth and power, the act of justice was laid at the root. And this great tree of prosperity and authority of the nations of the earth to be used by the Holy One to put a stop to the evil practice and injustice to the righteous. America has prospered from the labors of her black slave. She pays the black man high wages and salaries and then take them back from him to the high cost of living. This high cost of living of trying to live according to the way the white man lives keeps this black man down. And when he has inquired education of the white man, but is unable to complete with the white man, he becomes dissatisfied to the degree of creating trouble to find a way to sell prosperity against the will of the white man, which is to keep the black man in a condition of poverty and disregard as equal human beings. Yet, while the white man teaches that all human beings are created accordingly, at the same time, he robs the black man of a chance to be the equal of other human beings. Can America exist with all of her wicked doing against the black man in America and a state of equality of other human beings? The continued existence of America in a way of governments and power over people, other than her own, depends on the way she will continue to treat her one slave, the black people of America, due to the prophecy of the Bible from Moses to Jesus and Muhammad. The prophet is saying, and these prophets teach us that a coming showdown between Allah God and the slaveholders of his people, black America, must come to pass. The time has arrived of this prophecy of a defender coming to defend the prey, so-called Negro, who is held in bondage by the white slaveholders, who have and are still mistreating the prey to the extent that the world is in sympathy with the prey for justice. Now it is prophesied that a just ruler will come. He has come to set up a rule or kingdom under laws of justice for a people who have lived it under laws of injustice by unjust rulers. This must be fulfilled if the government for the people universally is going to be under such a glorious rule of freedom, justice, and equality. It is natural that the old ruler will oppose a new ruler coming to remove him and his authority to rule the people. He will fight to keep his place and authorities over the people. This is why Allah threatened his opponents with the final declaration of war. That will end the opponent opposition to his laws of righteousness. I have been writing for many years of the coming doom of the world of Christianity, mainly America, who is the root and cause of this present judgment of America. The judgment of America is due to the way that she has treated the so called Negro, the black people of America, 400 years. The very hour in which I'm writing, America is still mistreating her one slave with the worst kind of treatment ever according to human beings. America practiced the way of her father's mistreatment of the American so called Negro under what she called a law of freedom. But this freedom is only in words, not in practice. The slave master children's blood, heart, and way of thinking towards the one slave is the same as their fathers. They find it so free to beat and kill the one slave, so called at will, that they will continue this practice of mistreating and murdering the slave day and night because there is no law of justice for the black man of America who is the property of the fathers of the white citizens. America never think in terms of being equally punished for the wrong done to the so-called Negro. The Bible parable of Balaam riding a donkey must be remembered. When angels went to settle the unjust mistreatment of the donkey by Balaam, the angel found Balaam still beating and forcing the donkey to carry him right in the presence of the visiting angel who was carrying a sword to bring about the justice between the two. It's almost impossible to say that America can exist. If America is to exist, America ruling powers will make prophets and the Bible and even the Holy Quran prophesies other than the truth. It's impossible to make them outliers who wrote the doom of a race that will come at a certain time, and that certain time is now known. The time can be prolonged if the Messiah that the world had been looking for to come for 2,000 years desire, for he does what he please. This does not mean that he would change the idea of the doom and destruction of America. But if he pleased, he could extend her time, and she had done almost a marvelous thing like submitting to the righteous, taught and delivered to a mentally dead slave, the so-called Negro. This is the only way America can exist, by bowing in submission to the will of Allah God, taught by his messengers. The time that we are now in is a time of the anger of God against the evildoers. It is a time that the God of righteousness rejoices to repay the evildoers for their doing and to reward the righteous for their righteousness. Therefore, to curb this set day a doom demand for the doing of righteousness, which by nature was not put in the right race. But they may yet be smart enough to bow to put a stay to the execution for a few days longer, not by intermixing with her slave to enjoy as long as they are blind, deaf, and dumb, and do not understand. This act only has their doom, while the foolish, blind, deaf, dumb, so-called nigga does not even know that he is being blind, deaf, and dumb to his slaughter. There is no such thing that the evil will rule peace. Also, the wicked, according to the prophets, Jeremiah and Isaiah, are the ones who have destroyed the peace from amongst man. My advice to the white man is to make haste. Get in a hurry if you want to live. Bow and submit to that great truth and righteousness, the will of Allah. What will be the end of the war? Many of you may think that if America ends a war in Asia, this will bring peace and prosperity to the people of America. Perhaps someday there may be a lewd in a war, but not now. If America and Asia can find a way to bring about a cessation of war between each other, Does that mean that peace, prosperity is assured? And at this time, still the Cold War between America and Russia, other parts of Europe to be reckoned with. Europe will become a dreaded spot when America leaves Asia. It is true, as the prophet has predicted, that America must come out of Asia or be thrown out. Each, America and Russia, the two most powerful war factors of the world, is seeking to maintain the rule over the nation of Earth and even to conquer outer space. This will not last long, and a travel investigation into space, Allah God is permitting them to peep into his great unequal creation of power and might, the heavens and earth. The Holy Quran teaches that when Allah God gets ready to destroy a people, he opens the door of heaven to them. He gives them a peep into his great wisdom and secret. But this does not mean that this adds power to an enemy to be able to war against the Creator. The reason for all this is due to the fact that Allah God is setting up a kingdom of righteousness, freedom, justice, and equality. Black brothers do not look for high paying jobs, drawing a big roll of money after the war, unless it's with the help of Allah God. You prepare this for yourself, which I advise you to do. The most dreadful divine judgment that have ever been witnessed by man are now coming on America. America is the divine target because she could have bettered herself in the divine eyes of Allah God. Came in the person of Master Fallah Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever. But America did not and will not better herself, as it is written and prophesied concerning ancient Babylon and Egypt. We will have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. The Bible, Jeremiah 51, verse 9, because she was not willing to do justice by her captive Jews from Jerusalem. So it was with Pharaoh when Allah Jehovah went after Egypt. The Bible Exodus, Pharaoh refused to give justice to Israel and make war against Allah Jehovah and his prophet Moses to prevent Israel from going free of Pharaoh's enslavement of them. The war. America cannot win the victory. It is impossible for America to be the victors in this universal war because of divine intervention against her, although she have enough deadly materials manufactured to try to win. Can she win against Allah, God? She boasts of her materials and being able to destroy the people of earth 30 times. If she was left free to use the materials, maybe America could win. But divine die was set against her long before she ever became America. She can try and boast of ideas of mine, deceive for black slave, but she would deceive herself and them. America is made manifest by Almighty God and the person of Master Fallah Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, that she is a total deadly enemy against her one slaves. For many years, I had written that America's greatest sin is her evil done to her black slave. Allah God tends to repay her for what she had done. She deceived the black slave right at the point of total destruction. She tried to rule the so-called Negrian with false and temporary promise by offering him high political jobs, keep him from turning his attention to self and kind. The black politicians could and should use his political knowledge to benefit self and kind. White America isolate the messengers of God from their minds with these false promises and make them to hate the messenger of God and to work against him, although the messenger of God is working for the interests of the black slave. The eyes and ears of Allah God are open, looking and listening to the actions. It is not necessary for Allah God to use mechanical devices. Allah God is physically will. He has will, physical eyes, and ears. He is capable of seeing and hearing everything we do and say. He has power to defeat us in our plans, which are against his plans. The American slaveholders want to deceive the so-called nickel into believing that Allah, God, is not paying attention to them. The white man wants them to believe that he is the God that they should pay attention to. I warn my people, believe an idea that the white man is the God that they should pay attention to. You will come up the losers. Allah God is backing me up and the work he has given me to do. The work he has given me to do is for your own black starvation. If you think that you have starvation with the white man, to go ahead with him. I'm not here to force you against your own will, but I want you to know that if you are looking to white America for your starvation, you are headed with them to your and their destruction. There is no hope for America to win the war. There is no hope for the black man and the future of America. For America has no future for itself. She will not be able to win the war. The scholars and scientists know that America cannot win. It is not just I alone saying this. The scholars and scientists will tell us America cannot win. And we know by divine prophecy that America cannot win. If it was just Russia, China, Vietnam, and Korea using their judgment on how best to destroy each other, maybe America can win. For she have as much as they have in war, material, scientific preparation. America is capable of going out of the atmosphere or the earth and to fight them from there. But she will not be able to go out of the atmosphere of the earth and destroy the black man of the earth. It is only a mistake that one should believe in America's ability to build a way station in the air on the moon, for she will not be able to use it against us, for divine plans is set to destroy her. We have many things out there in space that can be brought into action against America or any other nation today, for Allah is the greatest. The mother planes. The mother planes was made to destroy this world of evil, to show the wisdom and mighty powers of God who came to destroy an old world and set up a new world. The nature of a new world is righteousness. The nature of a new world cannot be righteousness as long as unrighteousness is in its midst. The same type of plane was used by the original God to put mountains on this planet. Allah God, who came in the person of Master Fala Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, is wiser than any God before him, as the Bible and Holy Quran teach us. He taught me that this plane will be used to raise mountains on this planet Earth. The mountains that he will put on this earth will not be very high. He will raise these mountains to a height of 1 mile over the United States of America. This reminds us of the prophet prediction at this time of destruction of the old world and the bringing in of a new world. Behold, the Lord makes the earth empty and makes it waste and turn it upside down and scatter abroad the inhabitants thereof. The Bible, Isaiah 24, verse 1. There are plains and various nations today, but this is the mother of them all. Why should this plane destroy America? Why? Because God makes such a sign of his power to destroy a nation. Because this is the final destruction of that people who have opposed God and his purpose and aim for justice and righteousness. The white race is not a people who was made righteous and then turned to unrighteousness. They was made unrighteous by the God who made them. Allah God who came in the person of Master Falad Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, taught me that this plane is capable of reaching a height of 40 miles above the earth. His words could have been a sign, meaning 40 years, in which the plane will go into action, and not referring actually to 40 miles. Allah God does not speak one word that does not have a meaning. Every word that he speaks has a meaning. The mother plane, according to what had been described of it by the devil scientists, is capable of not only staying up for a long period of time, but it is also capable of illuminating the scientists. See, they want to attack and destroy it. But if a plane did get close enough to attempt to carry out this purpose, it will be destroyed instead. The white man have learned it, that this is not a plane to be played with. Planes come out of the mother planes. In the 1930s, the Canadian newspaper reported that they saw the wheel, the mother plane. It came down out of the sky. They admitted that it looks like a great city, and that something came down from it and appears to be a tube, but that tube-like thing went back up again. Allah God came in the person of Master Falad Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, taught me that after 6 months to a year, the mother plane comes into gravity of the earth. It takes on oxygen and hydrogen in order to prevent it to stay out of the earth's gravity until it needs refueling again. Ezekiel prophecy of the will. Ezekiel saw the mother plane in a vision. According to the Bible, he looked up and saw this plane, Ezekiel 1:16, and he cried out a will because it was made like a will. A plane that is will shaped can turn in any direction at any time. He admitted that the plane was so high that it looks dreadful. And he cried out, "O will." Ezekiel chapter 10:13. Ezekiel saw great works going on in the will and 4 living creatures. And the work was as it were a middle of the will. And when the living creatures went, the will went with them. And when the living creatures was lifted up from the earth, the will was lifted up. Ezekiel 1:19. The power of the lifting up of the 4 creatures was in the will. The 4 creatures represent the 4 colors of the original people of the earth. There are 5 great powers of the nations of the earth. These 5 powers are the black, brown, yellow, red, and white are the 4 original powers. The red is not an equal power. The vision shows the 4 creatures being lifted up from the earth. And when the will was lifted up, they was lifted up. And when the will stood, they stood. This means that they wait upon the movement of the will. In Ezekiel's vision concerning the will, he says that he heard the voice of one tell the others to take hold of fire and to scatter it over the city. This means bombs It could mean fire too, however. The plan is to drop bombs which will automatically be timed to boil quickly to a position of 1 mile below the surface of the earth where I timed it to explore. Allah God taught me that these bombs are to be dropped into the water. They are not to be dropped only on the cities. It will be the work of the will. See, the will is the power of the four creatures, namely the four colors of the black man, the black, brown, yellow, and red. The Indians is to benefit also for the judgment of the world. See, the mothership is here to drop bombs on the city. It can drop fire, however. See, this is the work of the will. Now we must remember that God comes to separate from the righteous, that which is hindering the righteous from making progress, and to destroy the effect of the poison of that which has opposed the righteous. The effect of the poison will be fully destroyed at the destruction of the source of the poison which has poisoned the righteous. It's like one being bitten by a rattlesnake. Quickly, medication is administered in order to minimize the effect of the poison upon flesh and blood until a complete cure is effected and the patient is well again. It is useless to try to ignore Ezekiel's vision of the will, for the make and destructive work of the will was foretold before it came to pass. The disbelievers believe that which he see present and not that which is prophesied to come. That is why he is the losers and take the course to hell, because he disbelieved in that which is prophesied to come about in a particular day. This is what the enemy is trying to do today with the black man. He is fascinating him with sport and play and the doing of evil to keep him from going to the God who is present. You never thought the day would come when you see your wife, mother, an old grave-headed woman walking down the streets today, half nude. A few years ago, they would not have come out into the public like that. But now they do so because the devil has put his improve on this kind of entire. They desire to please the devil. They do whatever the devil bid them to do. The devil desired to take the black man with him to his doom. Let us not classify the prophet as liars and ignore their prophecy, for we may cause ourselves destruction through belief in the devil instead of the belief in the God of righteousness. There is no equal of the mother plane. This is the reason why she is called the mother plane. The mother plane is made for the purpose of destroying the present world. She has no equal. Do not be surprised at the maker of this plane, since it is from the God who made the universe a floating planet and stars, which are supported only by the power of Allah and their rotation and their orbits. Allah God, who came in the person of Master Fala Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, taught me that the mother plane is a little human-made planet. It is not simple for Allah God to make a new planet if he wants to. The mother plane is capable of staying out of the Earth's gravity for a whole year. She is capable of producing her own oxygen and hydrogen as any planet is able to do. The mother plane can carry the same type of bombs on her that our black scientists drop on the planet Earth to bring our mountains out of the Earth. After the planet Earth was created. The knowledge how to do this had not been given to a world right race, nor would ever get this kind of knowledge. The knowledge of the world is limited. If the devil will get this kind of knowledge, we could just say that we are goers. However, they are not able to attain this kind of knowledge. What does a 6-day old baby right race look like trying to complete with a 6-year-old child? Black nation. For the 6-year-old child can run all out in the yard and play. He can eat solid food. The power of the 6-day-old baby is limited. The knowledge and power of the world, life, white race is limited. The world of the white man was made from what he found, what he has seen and learned from the work of the original black man. The white race is far from being able to equal the power and wisdom of the original black man. The mother plane in her work is a display of the power of the mightiest God, Master Falad Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever. Master Falad Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, is the wisest and best knower. He is the mightiest of them all. Oh, well, said the prophet Ezekiel, she was so high up in the sky that she looks dreadful. She is capable of staying away from you who plans the destruction of her. She is capable of confusing you who will try to reach her with your means of destruction. There are scientists on the mother planes who knows what you are thinking about before the thought materialized. Holy Quran, Surah 50, verse 16. Therefore, it is impossible to try to attack the mother plane. She can attack you, but you cannot attack her. The mother plane can hide behind other stars and make herself invisible to the eyes because she does not have to wait on a power from the earth. She can produce her own power to go wherever she desires to go in space. The mother plane is not like your little bullets or cameras, which are powered by your limited powers. The Bible prophesies that today Allah God wished to make known to us that He is God. He wished to be respected as the superior God. He wished all life in the universe to know that He is the greatest. The Muslim recognized Allah God to be the greatest. He always repeat, you are the greatest. There is no God like unto you, none deserve to be served or worshipped besides you. Almighty will, I repeat, that there is plenty to make of the mother plane. There is much to the course operation of her work. Space here in this book is limited, but what Allah God taught me concerning the mother plane can be put into book forms. O will, make to rock the earth and to heap of mountains upon earth. O will, destroyer of nation. No wonder the prophet Isaiah prophesied it, that the earth shall read to and fold like a drunkard. Isaiah 24:20. Let us seek refuge in Allah God from the destructive works to come, from His mother planes. The decision. The Holy Quran, Surah 78, verse 2, of the tremendous announcement. The day of decision. We are now living in a time in which we must decide on what shall we do. It is very important that we arrive at a solution, come to a defined agreement. You black men of America are holding back your decision. You are waiting because of the people who have brought this day a decision to us by the way of rule. Their rule is in a way of injustice. Now the God of justice is before us. We must decide upon whether or not we will accept a change of rulers or remain under the present rule that is passing from the scene. We must decide rightly in order to relieve the people of pressure of injustice. Let our decision be for the benefits of our present and our future generation. We have no objection to that person who makes up his mind to remain in what he is already in. However, this announcement of great importance is laid before you and me so that we can come to some kind of decision, agreement on what we shall do about the truth of this announcement. The announcement is the truth. It's asking us to decide on whether or not we are going to accept the truth or remain in falsehood. It's called the day of decision. Decide this day which God you shall serve, the God of freedom, justice, and equality, or the same old wicked God who rule Allah. God is here to bring an end to. The wicked ruler veiled the eyes of the people with falsehood, so that the people may take falsehood for truth and truth for falsehood. This is what the Bible and Holy Quran teach us. All unimportant announcements made by the prophet from Moses to the present day, enemy of truth had deceived the people and made the people think that they was listening to falsehood. That made the people think that the prophet and his God was too weak to prevail over falsehood with truth. What is said here in this writing is directed to the black man in America. He is the real one who must decide on whether or not remain in what he is in or accept a better world that is ruled by the God of freedom, justice, and equality. My black brothers, I want you to know that you are in a pitiful condition here in this day in which the announcement is being made to you to make up your mind about what you are going to do. In plain words, I wish to write here and tell you that you do not have a long time in which to decide on what you want to do. Thinking that you have a long time to decide is a mistake that people made in the past. Noah's people and Lot's people was the losers for ignoring the announcement for these worthy prophets. They waited for they thought that what they had was going to continue to be. We here in America do not have to wait and see, for America is falling up under divine chastisement and destruction taking place before your and my eyes. Also, the Bible and Holy Quran prophesied it these days and what is going on. These days are the days of judgment of Allah God against the wicked. To see more may mean end of your life and my life as it was with the people of Noah and Lot who waited to see more. They cannot come to the decisive point of agreement. They waited, and maybe you too will wait. To wait for the truth to be fulfilled means that we will suffer the consequences of the truth for not accepting the truth. The day of decision. As there was opponents of the prophets in the past, we have opponents of the prophets in this modern time. But all other warnings that was given before these days, we can make our decision so easily. Remember, the people of Noah have no prophets nor scriptures before Noah. Again, remember that even as late as the time of Moses, the people of Moses, the Israelites, had no previously scriptures before Moses. You black brothers are better off. We have all the scriptures that was given to the prophet throughout the whole 6,000 years of the white man on the planet Earth. And then you will be so foolish as to delay in making a good decision until you see something happen. And as the Holy Quran and the Bible teach us, until you see the angels coming in the cloud of heaven before you make up your mind. But still, probably, you will reject that. Surely it will not come in a cloud of heaven. But as the Holy Quran teaches you, it will not be a good day for you who have waited for such time. When angels come in a cloud of heaven, they will not be coming to do anything like preaching or giving you further knowledge. It is prophesied that on the day of judgment, the angel will come to execute judgment on you for not believing, to save those who do believe. The preachers, the messengers, is the first to be judged. Then the angels come to execute judgment on those who do not believe the message. Y'all smash that like button as y'all come in here. Smash that button. The angels in a time of Lot are a good warning to you today. Those people was lost. The angels came to execute judgment on opponents and disbelievers of Lot in the city of the plain where he was living. The day of decision only means the resurrection and judgment of the present world, as Jesus prophesied, as it was in the days of Noah, Abraham, and Lot. So it will be today. There was eating, drinking, and having a good time, as they call it. But it's not a good time. It is a wicked time. The history teach us that by waiting, there was the losers. But yet it will be the same today. It is the same for what is going on now. We are rejecting this truth and are accepting falsehood instead. Naturally, the enemy of truth is angry with the bearers of truth, because by nature, the enemy was not made of truth. He was made of falsehood. But again, the Bible teaches that whosoever believes the same shall be saved. This is truth, whether he is white or black. If a white man, woman, boy, or girl believe, even though by nature they are not the real righteous, their faith will get them out of the hell that Allah God threatened this world with, and the time will be prolonged. I'm sure that you know this. They also know this. A remnant of them will escape if they had the faith in Allah God and his religion, Islam, as Jesus prophesies in the Bible, that even though an enemy give one of his least one, a believer, a drink of water, and that being an act of goodness, the God will not deprive that act of goodness of his reward. Make up your mind. Come to a right decision. I warn you. When shall you see all these things? Jesus prophesies that when we see the fulfillment of the prophecy of this time, then we shall know by such act of people, strange actions that we have never witnessed before, carry on by the people. Know that it's the end is near, even at the door. The Bible prophesies in Daniel and Matthew, saying that this is a time that man has never seen before, and man will never see such time again after this time. Strange happening. The prophecy of Jesus says that parents will be against children. Children will be against parents. Do you not see these things being fulfilled today, right in our eyes? Not only are parents against children's against parents, and parents are murdering their children, and children are murdering their parents. In some family cases, the parents kill their children, and then they commit suicide themselves. It's going on today in this old USA, where the gospel of Jesus is preached every hour of the day, somewhere in the land. In this time in which we are now living, there is no respect for dignity. The president leaving the country to travel far to meet where rulers are foraging countries to discuss the strange things that are happening and the strange things that will happen between the nations. The beautiful and rich country of America, to which many people of Europe and Asia migrated, seeking refuge. In this country, as the prophecy is now coming into fulfillment. In that day and time, everyone will begin to go away from America instead of coming to America. As the Revelation, the Bible teach us of the prophecy that they will stand far off and see the fire of her, America, burning. For fear of it, they will lift up their hands and their voice, and they will lament for her. America's trades is cut off, and all of her delicates and delicious things that she used to have in trades. It is all gone. 1 hour, 1 day came to pass here in the Western Hemisphere. The most wicked people wherever live on the earth are in the western hemisphere. As the Bible teaches us, that God says that to him, this is like Solomon and Gomorrah. He allowed God did say that the wickedness of the day of Noah and his people and Lot and his people, the Stalemites, was no more than child's play compared to the wickedness of today. For they are highly educated. They are scientists and making wickedness for themselves. Day and night, up and down the streets, people are killing, murdering each other. We do not know very much about what is going on in Europe, but we do see it right here in this city of Chicago, Illinois. The radio and the televisions announce to the public that murdering, killing are taking place continually. When shall you see all things? Today there's great disrespect of one another. Mother and her daughters are walking the streets in shame to the public of decent-minded people. They are throwing their clothes aside from their body, trying to keep nothing covered but their shame. And some barely cover their shame. As it was in the days of Noah and Lot, so shall it be in the days of the coming of the Son of Man. The Son of Man comes to judge man and mankind. The days have come. And as Daniel prophesies, Daniel 9:26 and 27, and to the end, the war, desolation are determined. And for the overspreading of abomination, he shall make it desolate, even until the consummation. That determined shall be poured upon the desolate. Just think about it. At the end of the war, desolation. So they're putting end to the hope of those who expect to see a great boost of prosperity after the war. In the days of Noah, the children of the Stalemites came out happy that morning, and that was the end. They saw a cloud making up. They just considered that it was a regular rain cloud, but that was the end. In the Bible, prophecy of Jesus, Matthew 24:38 and 39. For as in the days that was before the flood, there was eating, drinking, marrying, and giving in marriage, until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and knew not until the flood came and took them all away. In the time of Noah, the people of Noah was having parties, as you are doing today, and that day was the end. In the time of Solomon and Gomorrah, they were so wicked that they was willing to go to war with the angels in the house of Lot. The Sodomites attacked the angels of God, who had power to destroy the Sodomites almost instantly. The Sodomites warned that they had been watching the angels visiting the house of Lot. A terrible time is gradually approaching upon us. A time so terrible until it will make children's grave head. The Holy Quran teach us, the Bible teach us that it will be a time never witnessed by man. And will be such time in the hereafter. It's a great time. You see, day and night, storms are coming in the country. It is storming day and night. The Holy Quran prophesies a disaster, one right after another. This we are witnessing with our own eyes. Oh, America, where shall you flee? The Holy Quran teaches us, black men, to take refuge in Allah. Today, people laugh at you if you invite them to do righteousness. They make mock of you doing right. So did the people of Noah, Lot, as it says so beautiful in Jesus' prophecy. So shall it be in the days of the coming of the Son of Man. When shall you see all these things that you now see, know that is here? We are living in the end. My black people, I said, fly to Allah, God, for refuge and come follow me. I may look weak, but through me you will find refuge in Allah. The judgment is near, and everywhere that we look and everything that we can think about marks the end of this world. There was a time in the history of the United States of America that the president goes out to travel, to visit heads of all nations that seem to be somewhat his equal. He is like a criminal who have committed a crime, and he hopes for mercy from those he had committed the crime against. We cannot escape our doom when it comes to teaching the Holy Quran and the Bible. They showed no mercy at all to the black slave. They treated the black slave worse than any human being had ever been treated. They continue to do so in the face of divine judgment. Remind you of the parable of the rich man and the poor man. As long as the rich man enjoyed luxury, cared nothing about the luxury for his slave Lazarus. Then at last the rich man flew into poverty. He was unable to get help even from himself. The Bible says of the poor black slave that none helped them. Now the rich man gets in the place of his one slave. The rich man could witness how it feels to be a poor man. The parable says at last the rich man dies. In hell he lift up his eyes. He saw his slave in a blossom Abraham, and in heaven that the slave had been promised that he will get into. It was such a beautiful heaven that the poor slave was lolling around in. The rich man cried out to the slave to share hell with him. He asked the slave to bring him a drop of water in hell. He knew that if the slave tries to get to hell with a drop of water, the slave would never get to heaven. The rich man will be happy if he receive a drop of water to ease his pain and torment. But if the slave could not come to him with a drop of water and go to some other rich man's brother, who the rich man knew was bound to get a taste of the same hell that the rich man was in. The rich man says, Father Abraham, if you will not let Lazarus come to me, then send him to my brother. And words to say, they are bound to get hell too. So I said to you, the time is not far off. This parable is now in the working. I said to you, my black brothers, Lazarus tried to stay in a blossom of Abraham, because no man came to us, as the Bible teaches. No man came to the poor Lazarus, lost found. No one aided him. I had been begging for help, to borrow money, saying that we would give the extreme interest. No one have come to our aid yet. The white men have tried to prevent everyone who will give us a little help. So Allah God came to help us from ourselves. May Allah God bless us to do his will and bless us to please him. For Allah God is the only help that we have. I do not care what interest we offer. No one wants to loan us. They know that we are well worth the loan, but they do not want us to be helped. They figure we are going too fast as it is. But oh rich man, your days have come. Your fall has come, and no one will help you. They do not want to come near. They see the divine destruction licking his tongue about you on all sides. They do not want to get near to you. See, Europe is standing far. Will not come near. She does not want anything of you. Europe see your doom. She does not want any herself. Whom to the white slave master in hell he lift up his eyes. The worst is yet to come. According to the radio and television, and according to the individual conversation, and according to the conversation heard between governments and officials concerning the problem of trying to find a way to peace for the people, and a way to find a stoppage of the fall of the money markets and unemployment, and a stoppage to the revolutions between the dissatisfied and the dissatisfied, and to find a way to be able to eat and to keep the hungry from eating from under his labor. See, pacification is offered but does not satisfy. With nation rejecting peace offer, a nation laughing and making mock of you, forever seeking peace and friendship. As it is written, peace is desired more than fine gold. Now see all these things coming to pass, things that we did not know that we would see. We did not know that we would see such a Goliath, such a giant falling. Goliath, who had defiled the nation of the earth, to come out and fight with them, as Goliath did before Israel. Now nation make mock of that great giant of the earth, America. The sword within, the sword without. Trouble seemed to have no end, with tens of millions of free black slaves crying for freedom, justice, and equality from the white slave master. And the white slave master want to deceive the black slave and make promises that the white slave master does not intend to fulfill to free the black slave. And with the free black slave, thinking that he will eat some crumbs of freedom, justice, and equality from his white slave master, the free black slave will be greatly deceived. The white slave master cannot free himself from his enemy, not to think of the white slave master free himself from the consequence of the dissatisfied world. So with the worst yet to come, and said to you, my black brothers and black sisters, fly to Allah, come follow me. There are some intelligent white people who know and who will bear witness with me that the worst is yet to come. Look at Texas. There's a warden at Ascertain prison house who send the believers Muslim to the temple so that they may listen to the truth, which is their starvation today to accept the truth. I think that this is a very wise word. It is like the general, the Bible. Now, the general knew that the Abra was wrong and that Elijah was right. The general took 400 Elijah followers and hired and fed them with the bread of the Abra in order to save them from hunger while they was in captivity. I said to you, leaders, remember the above says of this writing that the worst is yet to come. As the Bible teaches us that a time will come that have never come before, and that those who understood, their heart will be failing them with fear, and I will go away in a hole, looking at things that they saw coming on their people, the trouble and destruction and the pledge. Look at the earthquakes that are taking place. Those earthquakes on their way here. We are feeling the earth shaking on our feet across the countries. As the Holy Quran prophesies to us, you will hear it coming from a distant place. Now, America will be set all around now with trouble and destruction which have happened. America thought that she was immune to the trouble and destruction which are going on in other nations. Now, the same trouble and destruction that you read of as happening in other countries and to other nations, the same trouble and destruction with their evil and gruesome sounds are knocking on the doors of America. Now, America lands being divinely curtained. So we see the four great judgment that Allah, God, is bringing upon America are rain, hail, snow, and earthquakes. We see them now covering all sides of America as the Holy Quran prophesies, curtain her on all her sides. So we have Surah 1341 says, we have visited the land and curtain the nation from its sides. And these judgment will push the people into the center of the country. And they will realize that it's Allah God who is bringing them and a country to a nothing. See, Job in the Bible prophesied that Allah God has that snow and ice to use as his weapons in the days of war and a battle against the wicked. We hear and read in the newspaper today of how great hail like little snow are pushing down from the north. Not only in the northern states of Minnesota, we see North and South Dakota and Montana. But now the snow is in the New England states, and they are declared to be disaster areas. The announcer, a disaster of snow in the New England state, says there had never been such great quantity of snow all up and down the coast to the Carolinas. The rain takes up where the snow leaves off. All around the southern borders of America, storms are raging. There are tornadoes and heavy rain, and more storms are on the way, one right after another. In the north and far west and the east, America is surrounded with the judgment of Allah, God. There are earthquakes and the seas is raging. The Pacific Ocean is now angry and is raging and is tossing great waves as never before. Now, why should these things hit America? The revelation teaches us why. It is because America is filled with devils, and as such unclean person live in America. It is true under hateful birds. See, every filthy, shameless, wicked person comes there for a haven, where he can do any wickedness he wants to do. And the country opens and welcomes that type of person. As we see, the few little Muslims, who name Muslim means those who have submitted to the will of Allah God. Our enemy hates us and seeks to do all the evil he possibly can against us by falsehood. These are not the days of Noah, Lot, and Abraham, nor are these the days of Moses. These are new times. Enemy does not get away in punishing the righteous just because he hates them. Allah, the God of righteousness, is with us. He just laughs at those who are trying to fight against him. See, this is why Psalms chapter 2, verse 4 said he will sit in the heaven, and ye shall have them. He will have you in humiliation. He has destroyed whole nations with less than a power of rain, hail, snow, and earthquakes. The Holy Quran has the record of people even being destroyed. See, Allah God does not have to have something great. He does not have to go to work and get a block of iron or a mountain and throw it on them. He used that which is with you against you. The force of nature are great weapons as we see them in play upon America. Storm after storms of snow and ice are rolling in from the north and are pushing great drift that are just covering up everything. What can you do with a God like that? See, Job prophesies that God has his weapons stored up to use in the days of battle and war with the wicked. He just takes some snow and covering them up. The Holy Quran says that Allah God destroyed people with just cold wind. He froze them. Do you think that you can get away with fighting Allah God? No wonder the second song says that he will sit in the heaven and laugh at those who are trying to fight against him. He will have you crazy. It is true. The heads of the government of the Christian world are confused. and they do not know that they are confused. Why? Because the great desire was to confuse us. Now, God has taken the confusion out of us and put it into them. Eat, America. Help yourself to the desert that you have prepared for us. You eat it. All praise are due to Allah God, who came in the person of Master Fard Muhammad, who went to Alabama and to any states that we go to. We pay a high price per acre of land that our fathers' labor have already bought for us. Now he wants to kill us if we act humble and peaceful and want to buy back some of our own labors. See, I laugh at some of these things that I hear coming out of Alabama. And not only in Alabama, but in every other states and in union. See, they do not know the time in which they are living. Allah God is well able to take the country from you and give it to whom he pleases. It is in your Bible. Read it for yourself. He took the kingdoms from the wicked and gave it to whom he pleases, those who bring people into righteousness. America is surrounded with the judgment of Allah. The four great judgments of rain, hail, snow, and earthquakes, and the confusion and the heads of states. The four great judgments of America. To be pledged with too much rain will destroy properties and lives. It swells the rivers and creeks. Too much rain floods cities and towns. Large bodies of water at the ocean shore line will be made to swell with unusual highways, dumping billions of tons of water over the now seashore line. Rain destroy properties and kill cattle by drowning them in low land. Rain destroy hiding places of victorious beasts, reptiles, bringing them out, fighting in small towns and people homes and farms. Rain weakens and destroy railroads and truck lines, beds, and bridges. Rain undermines foundation of all types of buildings. Rain makes the atmosphere too heavy with moisture, causing sickness. Wind with rain can bring destruction to towns and cities, bringing various germs, causing sickness to the people. It produces unclean water by the swelling of the stream and destroying of the pure drinking water used for the health of the people. Rain is a destructive army with itself. Hailstorms are also a property and life destroyer. Snow is the most dreaded pledge when it comes in great drift from 5 to 35 feet. It buries your property and life, destroy your highways and your cities, and your gravel towns and cities. It put a burden of expense upon the cities. It put a burden of expense upon the cities to repair it. The caved in or roofs of homes, the cutting off of homes, the cutting off of transportation, isolation areas bring about the starvation, and communication is destroyed with the icing of the communication wires. Snow looks pretty because of its clean look, we see. Almost everything of nature is beautiful, but it can be turned into death and destruction against man. Snow is prophesied to be one of the weapons that God will use against the wicked America. Job 38, 22, and 23. Hell also is mentioned in the same two verses where God plainly tells us that he has preserved it against the time of trouble, against the days of battle and war. The Holy Quran also teaches us that God used snow, rain, wind, hail, earthquakes, and fire against former wicked people. Is America any better than people read about in the history that God destroyed? No, she is not as good. These people was not as wicked as the American people. See, earthquakes can destroy towns and cities instantly. America is in the grip of divine judgment. America is in a position towards the one slave, so-called Negro, as Pharaoh was with Israel as his slave. She is in this position because an injustice done to the American so-called slave brought to America for over 400 years ago refused to let them go free. They only said that you are free, knowing within that you are unable to lead them without anything. But the injustice continued to increase. Now they plan death. So this God was predicted by the prophet to come to the defense of this people, the so-called Negro, in the last days after they served the enemy for 400 years. The Bible declared to Abraham in Genesis that God would judge the people to whom his people Abraham would be in bondage. This does that mean Israel. This means the present black people, the members of the black nation who have and are feeling the prophecy. God and the person of Master Muhammad will not be defeated. The more evil, deceiving, tricking, and making false promises, the American so-called Negro only increase America's divine chastisement and doom. America knows that our trouble lies in the mistreatment of the black man, the so-called Negro. But she is too wicked to give up tricking the Negro and deceiving him on false promises. You just cannot stop. The opportunity is to open, and she thinks that there is no one to hinder her. God has chosen us to be his people, and he delights in fighting the enemy. According to the history of the former people, he delighted himself by going forth against them when they extended the limit. So it is with America. They must be separate. America will not agree to see the Negro separate from her until she has suffered divine punishment, as Pharaoh suffered. The same things that other evil nations suffered before them is now coming upon this people. She seeks to keep her slave robbed of opportunity and wealth. She envies success coming to an American Negro free slave. She charged them high prices to keep them down. She deceived them through a few of what we call Uncle Toms in a political circle, class, and all professional classes. She offered them little favoritism to help her work against their own people, the black people. But they too would suffer along with enemy of justice, of the poor, so-called Negro. They must be separated. Envy and hatred are going between the two people, regardless of their preaching of social integration. The truth must come. What is better than a program you find I have written you two black and whites cannot get along in peace? You have never got along in peace. Do you know why white America does not like to talk with you about separation? And why he calls separation of the two people the wrong solution for peace between the people? He knows that it's promised and that God will do it. Then why do they not agree with separating themselves from you and me and we from them? Why are the black man and white man all over the earth now in disagreement with each other to live in peace? Do you know why? Oh, foolish American so-called Negro, seek some of this earth that you can call your own to live on in peace. Unite and ask the government for a portion of America. This is what we need, somewhere to live to ourselves, and let this white man live to himself. The two people are not brothers. They are aliens to each other. God did not make them brothers to each other. I ask you, my brothers and sisters, to learn this and learn it quickly. Fly for your life to the refuge of Allah and come follow me. America lands is being divinely curtained. We see this Holy Quran, Surah 13:41. See they not that we are visiting the land, curtain it of its size? Allah pronounced their doom, and there is no repeller of his decree. He is shrift and calling to account. Black man, America, there is no one as blind as you are seeing what is going on against America. I have warned you for nearly 40 years that Allah God and the person of Master Muhammad, whom praise are due forever, came to me and gave me the knowledge of the truth, and have been preaching it to you continually. Now you see what is going on. As America have done, so now is being done into her. America has surrounded the country of the people. She had blown their cities to pieces. She had killed the inhabitants, those who were left alive. She put to flight, running from shelter, from destruction by America might. It is very sad and horrible to look at the things that America has done, which are now coming on this country. For many years, centuries of years, America had lived a luxurious, wicked life while hating her black slave and depriving them of justice, shooting them down on the streets and on the highways and the woods and fields for nothing. She did it just because she felt that she had the advantage and she wanted to kill black people as she was made to do. The Bible, Psalms chapter 10, verse 8. He sits in the lurching place of the village and the secret place. Do he murder the innocents? His eyes are set against the poor. Up until this very minute, she is seeking to destroy the black man in America and to deprive him of freedom to do for self. America never desired a departure of the black slave from his white slave master. America wished only to hold the black slave in order to continue to treat him with evil. Pharaoh hatred and injustice to Israel and Egypt in the time of Moses to serve America as a warning, but she had fallen headlong into the destruction of Allah God. America runs to and fro seeking way out, but she does not try to justify her black slave for justice and equality amongst the nations of the earth. America made us into nothing. She used us to mock us before the nation of the earth. But a God with unlimited wisdom, knowledge, and power is now befriending the black slave. He is now chosen the black slave to be his people. But the foolish black people have yet to come to that knowledge that Allah God is their best friend and that he is here to save them from the destruction of a people who have shown evil and hatred to us all our life. America divided us one against the other. The black man in America is so divided against each other that you seek all the time to do evil against each other. You cannot even befriend them lest they take advantage of you, call you a fool for trying to befriend them, as it was with us by Midway Technical Schools. Midway Technical Schools came to us for help. We gave them that help to keep them from falling. It cost us $30,000 to set them free of their backrents and other bills that they had. Take a look at how they have turned on us for the purpose of wrecking all of their beautiful businesses set up for them and others to enjoy on the south side of Chicago, Illinois. The fall of America foretold separation is the answer. The Holy Quran, Surah 81, 6, 7, and 12. And when the cities are set on fire, and when men are united, and when the hell is kindled. We see this folding up is the title taken from the first verse of that chapter, in which the above verses are found. And when the sun is folded up, we see the Holy Quran, Surah 81, verse 1, prophesies the folding up of a record, a work, a record of what people have done as it used will no longer be necessary. This chapter refers to what take place in the resurrection. One part is recorded as the beginning, while the other part is discontinued. We see this clearly being made manifest today. War causes the destruction of civilization. War destroys the cities and towns of a nation. The chapter 81 of the Holy Quran is now being fulfilled. The sun and the stars and mountains, camels and wild animals all mentioned in the first 4 verses of this chapter and are not without. Coming of God refers to by the prophet is to unite a people who have been divided against self by the enemies. He chose these people for building a better world. The Bible revelation refers to destruction of the beast and his chief instructor, the dragon. The name beast given here is not referring to 4-foot animals, but to a people who rule is like that of a savage beast. The theologians, most of them, from the time of Martin Luther, who I think was the author of these terms, beast, dragon, especially the late pastor Russell and Judge Rutherford, founder of Jehovah's Witness sect, take the term dragon to refer to the Pope of Rome, the father of the Christian church and the Christian religion. This is the first time since we have been lost in this part of the earth that we want to unite the black nation of the earth into one under the guidance of God who is now present. Why should the master continue to deceive his slave? He teaches the slave that he is a free citizen with equality. Why do you, slave master, want to hold them for hostage? Pray. You do not need them. Your machines do the labor that the slave used to do. Why not let them go? You want to go to war against Allah and the freedom that Allah came to do for you, slave, before you, Pharaoh, had that same idea? He did not want Israel to go free in the land to themselves. Pharaoh lost the war against Allah and was drowned in the Red Sea. See, the loser of this war will land in a lake of fire, not water. If white America wants to free her slaves, she can easily do so. This will be simpler and easier than what she is doing today, killing and provoking them through police force, National Guards, and finding the U.S. Army, as we see in Detroit, Michigan. American actions show us two things. Firstly, she wished to cause fear amongst the so-called nigger with a display of many deadly weapons by lies moving the fear. Secondly, she wished to approach her armed slave unless she is armed. This has been a historical relation between the white man and his slaves. The white man seeks the leaderships of the so-called Negro to help him keep the dissatisfied slave subject to him without complaint about injustice. The white man would say, nigga, you should be happy. You are better off than many of your black kind with a job. The white slave master brought our fathers here to do the slave work. Our free laborers have made the white slave master richer than their brethren, Europeans. The offers enter this land that they took from the Indians. The 22 million so-called Negro should be seeking some of this earth on which to live and build an independent nation out of self. See, the white slave masters only offer you a job. Allah God has come, and the person of Master Fard Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, to free us. The Negro slave must be free. See, this is the meaning of the resurrection. Allah God has said to an honorable Elijah Muhammad, they intend to free the American so-called Negro at any price. For 400 years, you slave masters have been killing the so-called Negro without receiving any resistance, regardless of his peaceful way with you. We the Muslims have tried to live in peace here in America. There's not a single incident in our 36 years of history where we have ever made an aggressive move against you, but you have attacked us several times. We have proved to the world that you are impossible to live with in peace. You have condemned it and killed the just and he who do not resist you. James 5:6. You have destroyed many towns, cities, and people, as you have divided the so-called Negro one against the other. So Allah should divide you and your brethren. As you have done to others, so shall be done to you. The Bible. And when the cities are set on fire, it's a sign at the end of you as a power. The house doomed to fall. We cannot deny the fact that the Christian rest is responsible for this universal corruption in the land and sea. From the same corruption that their own hands has made will come their doom. The Christian preach that which they do not do and cannot do, such as love your neighbor. I have yet to meet one who loved his neighbor as did himself. Thou shalt not kill. I have yet to meet such a Christian. They even fight against each other, rob and kill each other, but yet represent themselves as world peacemakers, with whom the great deceivers of the world reap what they have sown. Have they not corrupted many people and nations undiscussed of good, peaceful, loving Christians? The Christian rest is full of the worst crimes, see practicing evil to the fullest, and seeking to practice them on other nations as well. The universal temper are ever parading before the world. See, they both have new girls and women. They are before your eyes, and almost everything: murdering, gambling, robbery, drunkenness, drugs, adultery, lying. There's hardly any end to it. The lands and seas are filled with deadly weapons of war. The islands of the seas are filled with corruptions by all of the nation of earth. For they are proud and boastful, and are now hated and despised it, according to their wishes. The religion of Christianity is a curse to us, the black man, and is full of slavery teachings. They have poisoned the Bible with their attitude and taken from the truth. Now their doom is in sight. It is their own work. The command the sea with their powerful navies, parking them off the shore of the nations. They secure the air base on its soil to place their deadly bombs carrying planes within easy striking distance of those whom they fear to be their enemies. Is this not the easy way to make an enemy? Is this the act of a real Christian, the follower of Jesus, whom they preached came for the peace of mankind and to teach the seeking of the sword and the turning of the other cheek? Where's the good Christian amongst the race? They love mannering in other people's affairs. They are an ever fight a war if it matters not with whom or where, but yet crying peace, peace, with every deadly weapons of war to provoke other nations to war. Shall not the God of peace and justice deal with you and your troublemaking as he did with those before you? I warn every one of you, my people, fly to Allah with me for refuge. As I warn you, the judgment of this world has arrived. Get out of the slave making Christianity to the right religion, Islam. The house you are in shall surely fall and never rise again. The destruction and fall. The destruction and fall of the world that we have known is now without a doubt in process. When we refer to the world, we are referring to the world of the white man, for the world of the black man have yet to come in. The world of the black man, by divine guidance, is now merging in on the old world of the right race. This makes the destruction and fall of the world of the white man. Here in America, we cannot see nothing but the fall of America. It is no secret. It is obvious. The eyes are open. If we want to close our eyes and minds and claim that we do not see, understand, then we'll be falling ourselves. This refuse to see is foolhardy, regardless to how we may desire to see the old world stand. We do not have the power to starve off the destruction that caused the world of the white man to fall. Destruction and power that is bringing about the fall of the world of the white man is coming from Allah God. In the present history of the world of the white man, there never was a time of destruction of his world like the present time. It is useless for you to try to prevent the fall of the white man's world. There is no checking it. The right race has not tried to do the right thing, justice. Doing her justice would have checked her fall. The Bible, Jeremiah. But America was never willing, and even at this hour, she is not willing to do justice by those who she has mistreated. She had dealt injustice to the black one slave for nearly 500 years that she had been in a Western hemisphere. America has constantly burdened the poor black slave with every evil that she can imagine. The evil scientists who invented more and more evil practice and not been able to invent any more evil than that which they have already put out. See, day and night, without a let up, the white man mistreat the poor black slave. Now, since heaven and the God of peace, justice, and freedom and equality have come to this black slave, the white man is trying to make everyone that recognize the truth deviate from it. A white man would say, do not accept it. He makes the black man a hypocrite against his own starvation. The white man trolls the one who has not as yet accepted the truth of their starvation, and he promised them that which he will never be able to fulfill. America is falling. She is losing the power and authority that she was enjoying in foreign lands. Her fall is very visible. Wherever her authorities have been exercised, people are now crying out in one voice, leave us, American. Go home to America. The citizens of the countries are telling the American citizens, leave us. America no longer have friends. America have the and England have deposited their little brother Israel on foreign soil, the Palestinians, which is Arab lands. They deprive the Arabs of their own land and send them into the exile. We see the injustice against the Arabs is now causing America the power and authority that she once exercised in the East. She is on her way out of the Near East. This means bloodshed and plenty of it. In the Near East, there stand navies which are neither America nor British. They are there to drive America out. The skies over there are beginning to thicken with foraging planes, carrying deadly weapons and guns and bombs. They will not be satisfied as long as Israel is in Palestine. See, the boil has come to a bursting point. We are in a troubled world. We are in a world that is now erupting. Black man who was once a slave in America, you have a way of escape. The way out is now your own turn. It is on the condition that you submit to Allah, God, and come follow me. This is the only way out. I am the door and I have the keys to your starvation. Reject it and die. We are in a world that is falling. It will soon be going up in flames. We see Germany, the Cold War between East and West will soon erupt into a hot war. It will never be settled in peace. East and West, Germany must and will fight it out. With all of the deadly weapons that the war scientists have planted and perfect for the final showdown. You do not have to worry too much about whether or not America is coming out of Asia. Certainly, America is coming out of Asia. The odds are against her staying there. But I warn you, my black people, my black brothers here in America, that while she is on her way home, we the black people are standing in the crossfire. Only hope that we have is to fly to our refuge and Allah, God. Look at what is going on to the south of us. Look at the many hijacks stick up the planes. America is afraid to put a stop to the hijack, for she knows that she's going to run into more than she expects. You don't see these planes crashing in America, the hijacks. There's a lot of immigrants is coming here hijacking, for she knows that she's going to really run into more than she expects now. Now, who would thought that the big power of America would suffer such disgrace in this day and time? This is to teach you and me, black brothers, that the power of America is becoming weak. She is falling. I said, black brothers, join to your own kind. Come follow me, for the world that you and I have known will soon be no more. The days of America downfall. Thank you guys for tuning in. Allah manifests the fall of America. He desired to make America fall as a warning to her brother. In Europe, white America, and Germany, Allah has taught me are the most wicked of the right race. The wicked deeds that have been performed and are still being performed by white America upon the so-called Negro, the slave, are the worst and annal of history. They had been clever enough in their wickedness to make the so-called Negro slave love them, though they are the open enemies and murderers. Allah in the person of Master Falah Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, now judged the American whites and is causing America fall and total destruction. Egypt under Pharaoh is an example fulfilling the signs and other prophecy of the doom of this people as foretold by the prophet from Noah to Jesus. Moses and Jesus are the most outstanding prophets in the history of the Caucasian race for the past 4,000 years. There are several others contemporary, but Moses and Jesus are the major prophets of the right race history. The whole of the civilized world today, as prophesied in Isaiah, is against the white man of America. Allah hates the wicked American whites and threatens to remove them from the face of this earth, since white America and the white race in general have deceived the entire world of the black people and their brethren, brown, red, and yellow. Allah now is causing these people to wake up and see this right race as it really is, the created enemy of the darker people. As we see today, there's a general awakening of the darker people to the knowledge of self and the knowledge of the age-old 6,000-year enemy all over the earth. The American white race cannot sincerely give the so-called Negro, the slave, a square deal. She only desires to deceive them. False equality. Today, America is trying against her will to give the so-called Negro civil rights, which is against the very nature and will of the white race. For the first time since the black man had been here, America falsely offered him social equality in certain parts of the country. This social equality consists mostly permitting the American black race to mix openly with the white man and his women's, the devils. The actual idea, however, is to grant the so-called social equality amongst the lower class of whites. This is done so that the scriptures wherein they prophesy that the white man tempts and corrupts the so-called man with his women might be fulfilled. God has taught me that the right race was grafted, unlike, and being unlike, it is able to attract the black man and black woman, getting them to do all the evil known to the right race. Doom prophesied it. One of the prophets of the Bible prophesied in regard to America as the morning spread abroad upon the mountains, a great and strong people set in battle array. Joel chapter 2, verse 2. This is a setting of nation for a showdown to determine who will live on earth. The survivor is to build a nation of peace to rule the people of earth forever under the guidance of Almighty God. With the nation setting forth for a final war, at this time, God plead for his people, the inheritors of the earth, the so-called Negro. Thank you guys for tuning in. I see you guys shortly. Till then, so long, keep God in your life, and just keep on spreading this truth. Thank you guys for tuning in. Really appreciate you. We out.